Hey everyone, sorry for the delay. Firstly, a warm welcome to all of you to the Mastering GitHub and Copilot session. I'm Vishnu, Microsoft Learn Student Club General Secretary, and I'm super excited to be your host for the operating segment of this Power Pack session. Today, you're not just here to attend the session, but to level up as developers. We are diving into the tools that real world developers use every single day. We'll talk about GitHub, Git, and even GitHub Copilot, the AI pair of programmer that will blow your mind. I'm sure you'll get some skills today. Whether you're just getting started with the version control or you're just push few commits, trust me, by the end of the session, you'll feel confident, skilled, and get ready to collaborate like a pro. So get your laptops. Let's kick this things up and have some real interaction today because in ahead there will be an icebreaker game coming on your way just a little bit. So let's make this event a little bit interactive and something like that. So first up we have Pranay. uh, yes, yes, okay. Mm, just a minute guys. Okay guys, yeah. First up we have Pranay, a passionate techie with a flair and creative engagement. He'll be warming up with the fun twist, GitHub Riddle, time to get ready to crack some brainy puzzles while learning what and why of GitHub. He'll be introducing that. And next, meet Gopi-chan, the guy who loves digging deep into the commands and best practices. He'll be teaming up with walking through the Git basics and later sharing golden rules on how the code ethically using GitHub Copilot. And trust me, he makes even better with more this GitHub and I mean like GitHub Copilot the basics. He'll be teaching. And next, Adishwar. Yeah, next Adishwar, our Copilot expert. He'll show you how AI is becoming everyday coder's best friend. And from setting up a VS Code to Copilot, he'll be completely guiding you. And next, this is Jatin. Jatin, is your go-to guy like for making things practical. He's leading the hands-on session where you'll get some hands-on on GitHub, and he's also a quiz master for our final GitHub bingo. So stay up and let's see the next slide. So let us see. MLSC club. So who we are. Let's make it quickly to introduce you to the Microsoft Learn Student Club, or MLSC. You have heard it, right? We are a student driven community formed by Microsoft Learn student ambassadors, and our mission is to help the students bridge the gap between academics and real world tech skills. We host hands on workshops, hackathons, coding challenges, and speaker sessions. All, but all is like everything is like learning and doing. That's it. Whether you are becoming, whether you are a beginner or an tech enthusiast, MLSC is a perfect place to learn, build, and grow together as a community. And today, our event is just one of many exciting things we do. So, what do we do in the session is? So, what exactly we do in the MLSC is like a tech talks, something like it's tech talks. We organize hands-on workshops on the latest tools like GitHub, Azure, AI, and more. So we get a build while you learn. Like what you do is the things you do in the hands-on way, and we help you for preparation of certificates and what are all the sessions, learning sessions, hackathons, and fun events. We even conduct fun events like to learn and it's all exciting. Plus, you get to have a network, a collaborative real projects, and a supportive community to grow together. In short, if you love tech and want to grow beyond the classrooms, MLSC is where you should be. Like And this is just a session. It's for developers. It's something like developers playground, where you are about to get hands on with the tools and real world developers use every day. We are going to explore now in this session like GitHub, Git, and the Copilot version, and open source tools that for the open source we use, and the big tech companies that what are there and what we use. And then we are bringing some serious AI magic with the GitHub Copilot and an AI pair programmer that can literally complete your code as you type, like the GitHub which recommends you the code, like something like that in the VS Code, right? We'll be seeing that. And by the end of the session, you won't just know what these tools are. You'll know how to use them and why they matter and how they can boost your coding confidence also. So whether you are here to learn something new or polish your skills or just vibe with fellow techies, this is the right place. You're making this exciting ride. So next today's host topics are, just go with the next slide. Pranay, just go with the next slide. Hmm. So today's host topics are this, and so welcoming, and Pranay will be saying about the Git, and real he will be introducing, and Adishwar will take Git concepts and commands, and Jatin and Pranay will be doing the hands-on with Git, and Adishwar will be GitHub Copilot, and Gopishan will be the best. He'll just guide you through the practices and this thing. And Abhinav is a GitHub student developer pack. And these are all the members today we host, and these are the topics that we cover. And go to the next slide. Hmm. So, what will you learn today? Now, let us see. Take a look. What will you learn exactly today? First, mastering GitHub basics. I want someone on the mic. I guess. Okay, it's fine. Uh, First, it is mastering GitHub basics. From setting up repositories to collaborating seamlessly with others, you will understand how the GitHub works and everything. And next is getting hands-on with the Git. You'll be actually dive into the version control, from making your first commit and managing branches. It's all about the real-world skills you do on the GitHub. I'm like hands-on on Git. And next is we explore GitHub Copilot also. You'll be seeing how the AI powered tools that can boost your productivity and make coding faster and smarter. Get ready for that also. And third is like we'll learning the best practices from clean code to collaborative tips. We'll cover how GitHub in the best and most effective way, and we'll even cover the fourth point is like unlocking free tools. Yeah, with the GitHub student developer pack, you'll get access to tons of premier resources free. So we even unlock some free tools today, and engaging in fun quizzes and challenges. We even have this. We are making learning for fun with quiz and hands-on challenges and even interactive activities to keep things exciting. So these are all the topics that we do. All about these are all like learning, hands-on experience, and let's get started then. And guess the tech logo. And now let's move to the exciting part, that is icebreaker game. Here, use the code of the QR code to access this quiz. Like get access to this. And where is a QR? Yeah, this is a QR. Just use the code. Like use the QR code to access the quiz. Just do it. Use this QR code. Are you getting it? Like, is it visible? Like the QR code? Hello. Is my voice audible? Hello, Pranay?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. So So now moving to the next part of the session, co-speaker Pranay will continue this event. Pranay?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, can
Could
you
we
just react?
let's complete this icebreaker quiz, then we can move on to the next session.
Yeah, exactly. So can you react whoever started the war posted for?
So there are 8 members right now. Should I start?
Yeah, please, please.
Guys, whoever are participating, you can see questions on your screens. So please answer them. Bear with me, guys. We are on our 5th question. We'll be finishing in a minute or two. Yeah, so can you see the winners right now? These are the winners of our session. Abhinav Tej Reddy, he got out of 7. Next is Divya Rana. S- So these were the winners of our session. Just let me display the answers. Display them in a second. Okay. Shit. Sorry.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'll share the report after this meeting. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Vice President of Microsoft Store Chapter, Malla Reddy University, and currently working as Project Manager at Milla Foundation. I would like to welcome you all to our session, Mastering Git and GitHub. By the end of today's session, you will not only understand how and what Git and GitHub are, but will actually able to use them practically to collaborate like industry professionals. So this is not just another event where you just get the theory of what is happening, but it's also hands-on experience where you will apply the basic Git and GitHub commands and where you can actually understand them. So it will be also useful for the every project which you are going to be part of from now. But before going to inside what Git and GitHub are actually, but let's first understand why we need Git and GitHub. So like every team wants to work on the same project together, but the thing they mostly face, the challenge they mostly face, they are to track changes and safely merge everyone's code without overwriting each other's. So let's take a real world example. If I am working on certain landing page of a certain website, and then there is my teammate, let's take Marlo, who is working on some other page or some other component. So when I'm working on the component of landing page and is working on something else, we can't just collaborate, on our local machines. So due to these problems, we are going to use Git and GitHub. So let's first start at the very foundation level. In modern development, what is version control? What is Git and Git? So version control is the backbone of all successful projects which are, and it tracks and manages the code changes. So why do we need it actually? Because code evolves fast, and without version control, tracking what changed, who changed it, and when it changed, it becomes chaotic. So if I change something and my friend Bargo changes it again, so it does not, become a singular one. Like the change cannot be formed because we don't have a particular conversation with each other. Like I'm going to do this in the code, and you are going to develop this part of the code. We may speak, but while working simultaneously, we may not have exact opportunity to converse. So we need tools that help us to track code, track every change, collaborate smoothly, roll back to safer states when things go wrong. Why we need to roll back to safer states? So we need to roll back to safer states because then we are working on certain part of the code. And if we have any conflict error or if we have any issue, we need to have a safe side to play. Like we need to have a safe space to play. So now to do these things, we are using Git and GitHub. So Git, it is a popular version control tool, and GitHub is a platform which stores and shares Git projects. So let's break it down further. What is Git and what is GitHub? So Git is a tool to track changes in codes and files, as I already said. But to define it more properly, to understand it to the basics, to the core, it is a distributed version control system. So why we are saying it's a distributed version control system? Because it uses repositories and it uses to track every modification to your files, and it stores your entire project history, not just yours, but also other team members who are doing on their local computer. So it saves snapshots of your project as you work, and it lets you work and it lets you go back to earlier versions easily. So if you have any issue or if you have any particular error in this version, then go back to the previous version where you were having no issues, where the code was running smooth, and it helps teams work on the same project without any confusion. So every developer has a full copy of the repository. The repository is the version, but not just the latest version which you are doing, but also the previous versions which you did. So it also helps, if someone is working on some particular component of the code and you're working on another component, it allows you, both of you, or other team members also, like everyone, to work on it without having any, error. So, and Git works offline, so you don't need internet to commit change or track changes, and it is extremely fast and reliable. So, before going to look into more things of Git, I'll just try to tell you a few fun facts about it. So it was designed by Linus Torvalds, who is also the creator of Linux. So it's engineered for performance, and the name Git So the creator Linus, he named it as it is a slang, this slang which means annoying person. So as a joke, he himself named it as Git to represent a funny type of thing. Then you don't need internet to work, and you don't need any other particular outside things. You just need to download. You just need to set up the environment of Git. So let me just share the presentation. So see the presentation. So that's about Git. And now moving on to GitHub. What is GitHub? Uh, so GitHub is a website to store and share Git projects. So GitHub, to be simple, it is an online platform to store and share the Git projects which you did on your local machine. So why does GitHub help us? So, GitHub is a basic platform in which you can store and share your projects, and it helps teams to work together on the same code. So, to think, you can think GitHub as an social network for developers where code meets community. And what does code meets community mean? So you don't just create a repository and you just don't collaborate with your teammates, but if you have the permission to make the repository an open source, it means that public access. So while you give public access, throughout the globe, anyone can access your code. Anyone can change it. Like anyone can enhance it, and if there are any errors, anyone can help you do. So it is a place where companies, startups, and open source projects manage teams, issues, and codes together. So GitHub was actually acquired by Microsoft in 2015, and GitHub has approximately over 100 million accounts, and it is one of the largest platform for coding with many open source projects, many AI agents nowadays, and also you can use it for hosting your basic websites. And GitHub also is one of the most used platform by many MNCs. It may be Google, it may be Microsoft, it may be Meta or Facebook. And also one of the fun fact about GitHub is that Apollo 11 mission, which was of NASA, the code which they use it to land the humans on moon. So the code is actually on GitHub. So you can access it to look out the code and you can try to understand it if you. And next, what are the key features of GitHub? So GitHub allows you to collaborate, work together, and track contributions, comment on code, review each other's work. Then it helps you to project manage the project. So GitHub isn't just for coding; it helps you manage entire projects. It helps you manage different branches and different versions of the code. So it helps you track issues. It helps you plan work accordingly based on the progress. It helps you organize tasks with integrated codes and milestones. It is also free and secure hosting. GitHub has hosted unlimited public and private repositories, and it provides encrypted communications with each other, and it also has a secure cloud storage space. It is free for individual developers and generously free for tiers or for teams. Like in short, GitHub empowers global remote teams to work like they are in the same group. It may be a person from Hyderabad, it may be a person from Bangalore, it may be a person from New Delhi, or it may be a person from America. You all can work on the same code. You all can work on the same project using GitHub. Using you can collaborate on. Next, what are the real world applications of GitHub? So as I told you, project repository. So project repository, developers can use GitHub to work on large scale projects. teams across the continents collaborate, track progress, and manage workflows using GitHub. And you can manage the code based on committing it, and you can also include the comments, and you can also resolve conflicts, and you can also deploy works applications like small projects, maybe normal e-portfolio. It may be some game or any other projects. You can use GitHub to post them. And a simple case study would be if someone is some team, let's consider, is using GitHub and they are using React JS as their go-to language, so they can track contributions of who worked on which component and who worked on which and when, and they can save it and they can resolve issues if there are any, and they can also make it open source or public to collaborate globally through GitHub. So this is not just a tool, but it's how the modern software is built today. And without GitHub, the growth of React, especially, would have been impossible. Uh, Next, what is the difference between Git and GitHub? So Git is a version control system, and it is mostly used on your local computer, local machine. And then GitHub is a platform for hosting Git repositories. Whatever the repositories you created using Git in your local machine, you can host them on GitHub, and you can give the access to anyone you like. You can collaborate with anyone you like. So it tracks changes in source code and it initializes a project directly. And the GitHub is mostly based on cloud-based and accessed online. It is a general graphical interface where you can use drag and drop type of things. And then how to set up Git and GitHub. So downloading and installing Git is from git-scm.com. The website you can find using any browser. And once you download the Git, you can install it on your local machine, and then you can configure it. Then you can set your name and email using git config. Git config is a basic command used in Git command line interface. Or you can also use the extensions in VS Code, Atom, and any other platform we are using for coding. So once you config this, once you try to align your email account, you can after setting your account, you can also create a GitHub account if you don't have one by going to github.com, where you have to use your basic email ID and the password credentials, and you have to go through a multi-factor authentication. Then there is an SSH key. So SSH key is like a basic I can say like basic key which helps you to avoid password entry every time. So if you want to commit some changes from your local machine to the GitHub, or if you want to try to commit the things or try to create a repository from your local machine, you can use SSH key, which helps you say a secure connection. It makes GitHub interaction with your local machine smoother and more secure. So like after setting these up, Git plus GitHub, you can track the changes, and you can also share your files with your teammates, friends, and everyone whom you would like to work on this project. Then what are the basic commands of Git? So basic Git commands which we generally use in our day-to-day life or while we are coding. So the essential Git commands are: first, git init. Git init creates a new Git repository, or you can initialize a repository. So what does initializing a repository mean? So initializing a repository is tracking your project. Like once you start Git init, it starts tracking each change you make, every line and every new element or every. Sorry, guys. So as I was saying, so the git init command, it initializes the repository. Then git status shows the file status, whatever the directory you have created and whatever the code you are trying to commit. It's git status command shows whether the commits or whether the files are staged or unstaged. So it shows whether they are committed or what is the current status of the project and files. Then we have git add. Git add, git add file name. It basically stage a file for commit. Like it adds the file to your repository and it commits the changes of the file whichever you have added. Then we have git commit hyphen m message. So git commit hyphen m message, it saves a snapshot. It adds the description of what changes have been done. So uh, in the place of message, you can also add like it is my initial repository or it is my initial commit or I have changed it so and so in the project code or something like I have changed the logo of our website. So it helps other people who are working on the same project to understand what has happened and what can be done. If there are any errors, they can understand that okay, so and so has happened, and we can roll back to the earlier version. And then we are having git log. Git log shows the commit history. So each commit message which we use for each step which we took to do the project, like use the git commands. Git log shows what has been done and what can be done. So now general workflow of GitHub project. So what GitHub and Git workflow looks like. So you generally create a workspace and then, if there is any project, it may be a public or a private repository and you want to clone it. So you can use a git clone command to clone it with the URL which will be given for the project. Every project and every repository has a different URL. So you can use that URL to, clone the project. Then, you can also add new files or you can also change things. And then you can commit it from your local repository to the remote repository, which is the GitHub platform. Then you can push. Push is the command in which you git push, which means to upload the local changes to the GitHub repository. So you use the git push to update every change you have done in the local repository to your global repository. Then we will be having git pull. Git pull, it fetches and merges changes from GitHub. So if any changes has been done in the GitHub, so if any change has been done in your GitHub repository by your teammate, then you can use git pull to get the updates from someone. I think that's what git pull is used for. Then sometimes we will be using third-part websites or third-part platforms to host our project. So how to directly change in those? So we'll be using git rsync, which actually is not completely of Git, but it allows you to change your hosted domain code and it allows you to update the code. And then now the basic git workflow command workflow. So we'll be using init command to initialize the project and initialize the directory. Then we'll be using git add, which adds the changes and which adds the files to your git repository. Then we'll be using git commit. So git commit is used to commit the changes to your GitHub repository, your cloud-based repository from your local repository. Then we'll be doing git pull. Of course, in between we'll be doing git push to push the changes. Then git pull allows you to pull the changes which you've done in your GitHub repository, and we'll be using branch. Basically, we'll be using branch to update and track the versions which we did. So generally we use main branch, which is defined when we do the git init, when we initialize the command or when we start the command. So these branches help us to fix the bugs if there are any, and they help you to stabilize the release versions. And once you master this cycle, or once you master these commands, you'll feel confident to contributing to any project. It may be small or large. So, now that we have covered the essentials, I'll hand it over to my colleague, my friend, and my fellow member of MLSC, Jatil, who will guide you through branching and other things. And Adishwar and Gopushan can take the lead and continue the process.
Hello all, we are Adishwar and Gopikan going to introduce the fundamentals of Git and repositories. So first of all, we are going to cover the what is a repository and a commit and branches, merging, and what are the pull requests. First, a repository is like a folder that stores all your project files in version history. It can be local or remote also. It also tracks changes over time using Git. And what is a commit? A commit saves your changes to the repo with a message. It's like taking a snapshot of your work. Also, it shows what was changed, when and by whom it was changed. And it works on simple commands like added login features and also branches. The branch is a copy of the code where you can make changes without affecting the main code. It also has features, many features, and it fixes the bugs, or we can also do experiments with that. Default branch is usually main or master. And now merging. It combines changes from one branch to another. It also helps integrate features or fixes. Let's take a real world analogy, like combining multiple other chapters into one final book. It is known as merging. And we also know about pull request. It is a way to propose changes from one branch to another. The teammates can review, comment,
Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. I will be continuing remaining topic of my friend, which he has continued. I will be continuing what is a commit and what is a repository mean. Then what is branching and what it can be done in a technical way, and what is merging and what is mean by pull request. I will be giving a brief introduction about these all things. Is my voice clear? Is my voice clear,
Yes,
Pranay?
please continue. Yes, please continue.
So basically, a repository means a folder. In a PC, how can we create a folder? It means in a folder we can multiply many files. Like we can include many files and many folders inside a single folder. In a similar way, we can create a repository folder inside a Git or GitHub. Basically, a repository is like a folder that stores all the projects and files that are required for a particular project. And yes, we can extract all the files. Means we can without disturbing any file, we can make the things changes, and we can do the work. And it can be done basically repositories folder. Up to now, what Pranay and our friend Gopichand has discussed, a repository is just like a folder, and we can create files and folders inside a same repository without disturbing any other folder. Next, what is a repository in a Git and a GitHub? Repository is a in Git. In terms of Git, a repository is a distributed version control system. Means it can track changes in your files over time. For suppose, if I wanted to make a small changes up to small changes, like we can add a single line of code and wanted to make a change, we can use this Git repository. Here, GitHub similar way, but GitHub doesn't matters versions up to, means for this time to this time it is not actually needed. In this way, GitHub and Git repository can be used. That's it. And what Pranay? Hello, Pranay.
Yes, you're continue, please. And I request the participants to maintain a little decorum. Understand that these are your orders, but try not to, come in between the speakers and try not to remove any speakers or try not to mute while speaking.
Pranay, can you share the screen? Okay. Basically, a repository and sorry for the disturbance, guys. Okay. So I am in a video what is a repository and what is a commit and branches related to and what is meant by merging and how can we pull the request. So I guess repository is clear. Next, what is a commit? A commit is like we were having a commit, a keyword commit in DBMS. It means like we can use that commit at the end of the column and it makes complete changes in the database management system. Similarly, a commit is like a save.
Yeah, sorry guys, sorry for that disturbance. Again, I want to request the participants not to remove any speaker and not to come in middle of the meeting. If you are not interested, please try to leave, but try to listen what the speaker wants to say. And as Adishwar was speaking, commit is like saving a file that's been edited, and it is like saving your work after editing. It helps you to report the changes in one or more files in the batch. Then what is branches? As we were speaking, branches are separate line of development in your project. Like it helps you to create multiple and different versions of your project. So a branch is like it helps you let work on your features and fix bugs without affecting the main code, which is being used for the development and deployment. So it helps people to work parallelly and in a safe environment. It helps you to experiment safely. So what are the common uses of branching? So the basic common use of branching is to fixing the bugs and then developing new features. If suppose we are working on a website in which we are trying to add a payment feature right now, and we don't want the current deployed version, the hosted version to affect. So then we'll be using a new branch where we clone the exact code and we try to experiment, we try to add things. So the basic command to check what are the branches are there and what are the branches which can be created, like to for naming convention we'll be using git checkout -b and the feature name. So like if you are using main branch, or if you are using master branch, or if you are using any branch in which you try to give the version like version 1, version 1.4, then you'll be using git checkout -b, then the name of the feature. Okay, next, merge and pull request. So what is merge and what is pull request? Merge, it is the process of combining changes. So like from one branch to another branch, we try to combine the changes. So if there are any changes in the main branch and the master branch does not have any effects, then we use the your merge. And I think Adishwar is back, so he try to take from Adishwar.
Yes, I will be taking. So basically, I am trying to cover this repository commit and branching and merging and pull request in the GitHub or Git. So what I mean to say, what is mean by branching is means if we take a separate folder, we can take like in a separate folder, we can branch it without affecting the same file. I mean, we can fix the bugs or any errors without disturbing the another file. It is simple. It is meant by branches. Next, there are some comments for a new branch in a GitHub. It is git checkout -b, the name of the branch. Next, what is mean by and pull request? Merging is a process of combining. Everyone know it is as simple as in a Git or Git, we can use a merging technique to branch the changes. I mean, we can combine 2 to 3 folders at a time, and we can make the changes and work with the same. I mean, the changes can be made without affecting the other folder. I mean, one folder and now we can merge it without affecting other. We can make another folder which can be created and add another feature. This process of technique is known as merging. Then pull request. Pull request is basically it is as name suggests, it is a request to merge one branch into another on a platform of GitHub. Then it is used for team collaboration. Team members can review, like we can add comment, suggestion changes, and approve the code before merging. It helps maintaining code quality and avoid conflicts. What can we take from this merging pull request? Like submitting the code for means another developer were there, and he wanted to submit the code or the file or the folder, so we can review before it. Means becoming a part of the final product. Means we can combinedly make small changes, and we can become a part of final project. I mean to say that. Then there is a setup of Git. How to set Git and GitHub? First, you need to go and download the Git from the official website. Then you need to configure by your name and your email ID. Then you need to use a username and an email ID. After that, creating a GitHub account is needed for using this setting up a Git and GitHub. Then SSH key. This SSH key is a thing like encrypting the I mean account. Means only you can see and only you can know the. It's like a password. SSH key to secure connections. Then it by following these 4 steps, you can use Git and GitHub togetherly. Then it's a time to check your knowledge, what you have understood, what is meant by GitHub commit, repository, and branching, merging, and pull request. So please scan this QR code and submit your answers.
So guys, you can scan the QR code and open Slido website. So now there will be another small quiz to check the progress and check how far we came and what we understood. So please try to participate as many members as possible. And Chetan, please take the stage.
Yeah, so only there are only 3 members right now. Guys, try to participate. Guys, please try to participate in this quiz. There are only 4 members right now. No, okay, guys, I'll be starting the now. The first question should be popping on your screen any minute. The quiz is live right now, so please try to answer the questions. We're on our 7th session. Question will be wrapping up soon. Okay, guys, we're done with the quiz. I'll be sharing the leaderboard later in the Microsoft members group. So we'll move on to our next session right now, which is the hands-on session. Okay, hi guys. My name is Jatin. I'm the technical lead of MLSC. I'll be guiding you through this hands-on session. So I hope you've understood all the theory part of this. So we'll be implementing that theory part right now. So the first and foremost thing you need is Git Bash. So you need to download Git in Git in the browser. So Git is nothing but that's the version control tool. You can download it from here. You can just click on download for Windows. Directly, you can just download it from here. You should click here for the download, and you can download from there. Now, uh, Git Bash will be yeah. Sorry, guys. Someone is actually removing all the speakers. So please try not to do that. If you're not interested, then feel free to leave. Now, let's get back to where we left. So you'll see Git Bash on your computer. I'm sorry. You'll see Git Bash. So this is basically the CLI of Git. You can either run all your commands in Git Bash, or better than Git Bash, I think most of you have VS Code in your computers, right? So let's do it in VS Code. So yeah, let's just get back to where we were. So I'm creating a new folder. Yeah, you can also do that. You can do this in your computer as well. Right now, let's just create a new project. Let's name it maybe project, I guess. Let's just create a new folder in my desktop.
Guys, if you are not interested, you may please leave the meeting, but don't disturb this. People who are really interested to learn something will achieve something from this. If you want to remove the speakers, you may please leave the meeting. If you are not interested and bored, this will not be tolerated from your end.
So guys, I understand that these are your holidays and you're enthusiastic to do something, but let's try to make something out of the session. So I'll skip to the gift part and I'll just try to speak about you know what is Copilot and how can we use Copilot. So yes. So before going to the Copilot, let's just focus on what are the common mistakes we do when we are using Git and GitHub. So the first thing is we forget to commit regularly. Once we do some change and once we try to do new try to add so as I was saying, we normally forget to commit the changes regularly. So as I was thinking, the common mistakes of it which we do. And before going again to that, I once again request people not to remove the speakers while speaking. Just 15 more minutes after that, you can continue your call. Just won't be disturbing you in your call. That's for sure. Just try to concentrate for 15 more minutes, and if you're really not interested, then you can leave the meeting. But at least let the speakers do our part and let the people who are interested to do their part. So just for 15 more minutes after that, so the thing I was speaking earlier was common mistakes when using Git and GitHub. As the first thing, we forget to commit regularly. Then we use poor commit messages, as we saw in the commit command. Git commit -m. We use a message to describe what type of change we did, what type of update or what type of bug we fixed. We try to log that using the commit command. So we sometimes people or the developers, I should use the word developers, they does not use commit messages, or they use messages which cannot be understood. So if I'm trying to do some new commit, and if I'm trying to do something, and when I use commit messages such as git commit -n, and there I can't just say that XYZ, but I need to mention clearly what to be. Then the next thing is committing directly to main and master branches. So the main motto or the main purpose of branches is to use the these different versions of the code, so that the main code or the code which we are posting right now, the version should not be affected. So we cannot commit the changes, or we cannot commit it directly to the main branch or the master branch. It affects the code sometimes. So it kind of does not meet the conditions or meet the criteria to use it. So we cannot directly commit the changes to main and master branches. Then one of the main thing is committing sensitive data. So what does committing sensitive data mean? Committing sensitive data, it's the basic. When we try to commit our project, we sometimes use
Pranay,
API.
should I resume the hands-on session?
No. We don't have that much time, so I'll just try to complete the session. Thank you.
Okay.
As I was saying, committing sensitive data means while committing the project code, we cannot use sensitive data such as API keys. It may lead to misuse of your information, that we cannot use the database details. So what can we do? So that's the next thing. What can be done and what can we do to avoid the common mistakes? That's first one is to commit early and often. So we need to commit small changes, logical changes frequently. Or sometimes when we try to code, we may change one single line and we forget to commit the code and commit the changes. So, but to not do that, we need to commit it so that the code does not. Then we can create branches for new features and to fix some. So maintaining different branches and different versions of the code, it allows us to run smoothly. So it does not affect the main code and it does not affect the hosted services. So we can create different branches and then
Jatin will continue the technical session. We can take it till 1:30 because we have started it late, right?
Yeah, sure. Then Jatin, you can start. You can continue the session.
Yeah, sure. Let's just resume our hands-on session. So let me just share my screen real quick. Yeah. So, right. So basically what I did was, and if you didn't catch it the first time, so basically I just created a new folder in my VS Code, Visual Studio Code. I opened that folder and I just typed down git init. So what this does, it initializes an empty repository inside of our folder. So basically now what we can do is now we can treat this like a git repository. Now let's just make some changes. I just added this paragraph. I didn't commit or add this change. Now whenever we make changes, we have to update them. So we can use this command. First we have to add and then commit them in order to fully implement the update here. So now git add, I can either do this. I can either type index.html. So what this does is this will be adding the changes. So did you observe that from U to U, it changed it to C. Now let me just add another folder real quick. So readme.md. There you go. So README is basically like it's there for all the projects. What it contains is it contains the project name and whatever the whatever the people who have contributed to that project, and some descriptions about that project. So let's just name it MLSC. Okay. So now notice this. There is a U here, so we didn't add this change. Let me just add everything real quick. So git add. I've told you, right? So we can do this command in order to add all the changes at once. So let me just execute it. There you go. So we've added both of these changes. Now we can commit them. We have to commit them. So git commit -m stands for message here. So you can later you can have an idea why you updated. So let me just say this is the first commit. So right now I've committed this. So this is this project is currently in my local system directory. I need to add this to GitHub. So it's not on GitHub yet. So let me just go to GitHub. There you go. Let me just go to GitHub, and here's my let's just go to profile in GitHub, your profile. So these are the directories, repositories that I have. So I'll add another repository. So I'll just go to repositories here, click on new. So after I click on new, I can just name this repository MLSC. There you go. MLSC, I'll name this. I'll add session as the description. Don't need to add README here. We already added it in our local directory. So let me just create this repository real quick. Yeah. So the repository has been created. We don't need all this. I'll be telling you all this in a minute. All you need to do is copy this link. So this is the origin where our repository will be saving in github.com. So you just need to run one more command, which is git one more command, git remote add and the name of this repository, git remote add origin and this link. So what this essentially means is we are adding this, we are adding our project, this project, to a remote repository in this link. So we're just gonna, we'll just execute that. You can see that just a minutes, we'll just push it. So now this, whatever this link is, it's the origin for this project. Now we'll push this. As you might have noticed, there isn't any change in this link. We need to push these into this link. So just we'll just type git push -u origin main. Now you can also type git push origin main. We just use -u because there would I'll be working on this project solely. So there isn't a need for me to specify it again and again the directory. So we just pushed it. We just pushed it. Okay, nice. So let's just refresh this again. Right, there you go. You have all the files that we have saved inside of a computer. Now, let's just talk about branches briefly. So we've seen what commit does, we've seen what add does, and we've seen what push does. So let's just talk about branching briefly. So branch is basically like I'm sure you might have heard in the previous sessions. Branching is basically like dividing your code into different sessions. So a company might have a front end team, a back end team. So you don't wait for each other to complete this. So what you do is you basically you divide the code between them. So they don't tamper with the actual code, but they have their own copy so that they can make changes only in them. Later what we can do is later on we can later on we can approve those changes and then merge it. So let me just show you show you all the branch related commands. Now let's see what branch we are in. Git branch. So if we type this command, you'll see what branch we are in. We're in the main branch right now. So I want to add a new branch. Let's say I want to add a new feature, so I want to add a new branch. So git checkout -b and the branch name feature 1. So this I'll add this branch. So it says here switch to feature 1. Let me just clear the command prompt real quick. There you go. Now let's just type in git branch. There you go. So we have two branches right now, main and feature. So whatever changes that we are doing in feature 1 will not be there in main. So we have to merge it later in order to combine those changes. Now let's say I'm in feature 1 branch right now. So let me make some changes here. So I'll make a change in index.html. I'll add a paragraph. This is a update of branch whatever f1. Let's just say this branch f1. So we've made a change. The same old procedure. We have to add this real quick. We have to add this update. There you go. And then we have to commit. So git commit -m and then your message. This is a feature 1 update. There you go. We've updated it. Now, let me just switch branches. Just focus on this. You have an extra paragraph here, right? So let me just switch branches real quick. Check out main. So we're in the main branch. Notice how the paragraph disappeared. As I've told you before, the change isn't made in the main branch. The feature 1 branch will have its own copy, right? So we can later on merge that. Let's just get back to feature 1. There you go. Now the changes reappeared. Now, okay, so now we've made the changes in feature 1. What we need to do is let me just refresh this. Now what we need to do is uh, we need to push this into our github.com. So git push -u origin feature 1. There you go. Now what we did is we pushed a feature 1 branch and its changes into our github.com. Now can you see that there's one main and one feature 1 branch in here? And also if you've noticed this, there is this new request. So now, as I've told you, the branching, the way it works is later on we have to merge those branches. Now the main branch has its own state. So the main branch didn't change. It still has only the first paragraph. Now what we have to do in order to merge both of these is we can do it in two ways. We can either do it by this command git merge, and you can just write branch name here. So, sorry, yeah, branch name here. And and there's another way which is known as pull request. So we'll do this by pull request. It's an easier method. I'm sure you will be able to understand it easily. So I've come back to my GitHub. So there's this this pull request that popped up 7 seconds ago. Let me just compare and click on this button right here. So essentially what we're doing is we're just merging this. Add a title. Let me just add merge this feed. This is merge feature one update, whatever. Yeah, we'll do this, and then you can just write down description. We can create this we can later click on create this pull request. There you go. Now, yeah. So basically, what this did is it checked whether it can automatically merge our requests or not. It did it confirmed it. So there here actually there appeared a green tick. So yeah, and you can just click on confirm merge. There you go. Now pull request successfully merged and closed. There you go. Now let's just get back. Yeah, so the pull request has been successful. Now let's just go to our code base. So it has been updated. It has been updated in our github.com, which in our remote repository. But there's just still one more thing that we have to do, which is updating this in our local repository, which is on our PC. So what we can do is, so let me just show you one more thing. So git checkout main. See this. There isn't still there isn't still that update that from branch feature one. Let me just show you that again real quick. There you go. So this update isn't still in the main branch. So we have to merge them in our local directory as well. So let's do this. It's very simple. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be pulling that the current version of our app into our local repository. So we just have to type git and then git pull -u, and then we can just say whatever origin. So I've told you, right? Origin means the remote directory, origin main and the branch. So report that. Okay. Git pull origin. Oh, sorry. Git pull origin main. There you go. Right. So now as you can see in both the directories, the update has been reflected. So git out what do you call right main branch. So see this the paragraph update has been, the feature one update has been saved in the main branch as well as in the feature one branch. So that is mostly the hands-on session. I hope you've understood it. Due to timing concerns, I've went through it a bit, but yeah, right. Thank you. That's it, Pranay.
Thank you,
Hello.
Jason. Now,
Right.
Gopichan will speak about how we use GitHub Copilot. So, Gopichan.
Can you share the screen, Pranay? Pranay. Okay. Hey everyone. Now I want to talk about something that's super exciting and super important. How we can make the most of GitHub Copilot while also using it ethically and responsibly. We all love cool tools that make coding easier. But let's talk about something that's actually making coding easier. GitHub Copilot is a tool that automatically generates code automatically. It doesn't need you to write it. It just reads it and changes it. It doesn't ask you to write code. It just reads it and changes it.
Yeah, sorry guys, sorry for that. Let me just take the lead and continue where I stopped. So we discussed it till how to avoid the common Git mistakes. Then what are the best practices to do Git and GitHub? So first we need to write clear and meaningful commit messages as we discussed, because the messages allows us to understand what changes have been done and who did what. It helps us to track everything. Then we need to commit the progress as we do. Then we need to pull updates regularly to avoid conflicts from different branches, as just now Jatin showed us. While creating two branches, we can pull the request from our cloud GitHub platform to our local machine, so that it does not affect the code. Then we can use a .gitignore file to skip unnecessary files. Suppose if you are using React or if you are using Node.js, we'll be having many dependencies which are not definitely useful. So by using .gitignore file, we can try to uh, remove the unnecessary files. And the .gitignore file also helps us to try to use the environmental variables such as API keys and other things or other sensitive information. Then introduction to GitHub Copilot. So what is GitHub Copilot? Uh, GitHub Copilot is an AI paid programmer. So imagine having like GitHub, OpenAI, and Microsoft powered tools. So we can use those. It's like ChatGPT, but for coding, and it was like it used different tools such as GPT-4 and other.
Pranay.
Yeah, Kopichan, you can continue.
Yeah. So Copilot is amazing, right? It can write full functions for us, complete lines as we type. And also it even understand what we want based on just in a comment, even just in a moment. But there is a thing. It is just still a machine. So sometimes it may give us insecure code based logic or even suggestions copied from somewhere else. So that's why we need to pause and ask, am I using this tool responsibly? So Copilot can suggest insecure or biased code. It can use with unclear licensing. So must be aware and we can check twice. All right. So let's talk about some good habits when using Copilot. First, we always review the code it suggests. Just because AI wrote it, it doesn't mean that it always give right. So use clear comments to guide Copilot, like giving actual prompts and best prompts. Treat it like a teammate who needs your direction. And also don't get too lazy. We are still the developers here. So write your own logic and make sure you understand everything that shows up. Think the Copilot as your smart assistant, not your replacement. Okay, the security is another big one. Copilot might generate code that works, but it may also include hard-coded passwords, unsafe inputs, or your privacy. So it's up to us to double check everything. Use linters and security tools like GitHub Copilot, and also keep your dependencies updated. Remember, AI doesn't understand consequences we do. So now, one of the most controversial topics with Copilot is licensing. Sometimes it might suggest code that's super similar to what's out there is open source projects. That's great for learning, but we have to careful. Some of that code might be under licenses that need attribution. So before copying full functions or large blocks, check the source, give credit, and always follow the license terms. It's not just ethical; it also illegal. So when there is a doubt, verify the origin and license price, and also double check it the copyrights. And finally, let's think bigger. What kind of developer do you want to be? One one who just lets AI take over, or someone who builds with purpose? Use Copilot to create code that's inclusive, accessible, and helpful to others. Share what you learn, help others, and use tools like Copilot to amplify your skills, not to replace them. Because the future of coding isn't just AI, it's ethical AI used by thoughtful developers like us.
Thank you, Gopichan.
Okay.
So guys, let me just wrap up the session. So uh, I'll just like to give you a small summary of what we did till now. So we from the beginning of the session we learned what is version control and what is Git and GitHub and why are we using Git and GitHub. Then how Git and GitHub helps us to collaborate, how it helps us to complete a project with multiple developers, and we also saw the basic Git commands and how we use those Git commands. And the hands-on session also helped us to understand what is branching and what is merging. So then the issue tracking and code hosting. Then and we also saw what is GitHub Copilot and how we can do the GitHub Copilot, how we can use it, and what is licensing and all. These are the resources if you want to learn more about the GitHub, the official Git documentation, and then GitHub documentations, which the developers who use GitHub mostly knows, and they based on their own experience they try to do the documentation, and they it will help us to enhance our Git skills. Then the GitHub Learning Hub, it's an interactive tutorial where you can understand the different GitHub techniques. Then the cheat sheet is for GitHub, where you can, you have a summary of how you can use GitHub for, betterment of your project. And then of course the Git and GitHub crash course, it is a YouTube video. You can use that to, do a complete swap of your Git knowledge. And I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you.